How are you doing today? Today is Friday, is that right? So we're on Friday. It's Friday. Um, the weather is looking a little bit brighter than usual today, but we're going to be bringing the summer, bringing the sunshine with these lovely little daisy chain type necklaces that we'll be making today. So I hope you're all well. Let me see where you're watching from. Let me just check my comments are up ready to go so I can see you all. So yeah, lovely little necklaces for you today. Really easy. We're just going to be making the little kind of daisy-like links using the gorgeous 6mm glass pearls. There are 6 different colours to choose from, and some of them are on different coloured findings as well for you, so you can have a little look at that. Hello to everybody. I think we might be having a few new people watching today, so that's lovely. Drop me a comment where you're watching from and give me a hello. So I've got Brenda in this morning. She says hello to everybody. Hello to Charlotte. Good morning to Sharon. She says good morning, Natalie and Creative Bead and Ears. Good morning to Elaine. Good morning to Lucy. And good morning to Gwen. Francis is saying good morning to everybody. It's nice and sunny but windy in Perth. Jackie's wishing me a good morning. Mina is here. Leslie, oh, there's so many comments. They're all scrolling right through, which is lovely. Leslie says good morning to everybody. Camille says good morning, Natalie and everyone. Sunny and bright here in Wiltshire. Edward is here. Good morning to you. He's going to watch next week as he's going away. Where are you going, Edward? Anywhere nice? Good morning to Caroline. She says, good morning, Natalie and our Beading family. A beautiful day here in Brixham. The sun was out in force before. It's a bit windy, but there is blue sky, so that's good. Good morning to Anne. Hello to you, lovely. She says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. Isla is here. She says hello. Facebook user says, good morning, Natalie. Bright and sunny, but windy in South Lincolnshire. Good morning to Rachel. She also says it's windy, but the sun shines there in South Yorkshire. Hello to Victoria. And Lucy is being a little tink. She says, I'm new. Pleased to meet you all. Hello, Lucy. How are you doing? Camille says she's also a newbie. And Mandy is saying it's sunny in the Wirral. Lorraine is saying hello to everyone as well. So we've got lots of you in already, which is fantastic. I know we've got people watching from all over the place. Lucy says, I'm Lucy and I'm a pink beadaholic. Well, I'm Natalie, so thank you for joining me on TotallyBeads. We are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube, and everybody's taking the mic now. Rachel's also a newbie. Well, you may be very experienced in jewellery making and just joining us. You might be very new to us. And in this case, today's make is a very easy one to start with. Might be using some techniques or some materials that even you experienced ones haven't used before. So hopefully a little bit of inspiration for you today. Joanne says it's very sunny and blowy in the Midlands. Celia is saying it's dismal in Bolton. So it might cheer up for you a little bit later, Celia, because it's okay here and we're not too far away. Oh, thank you so much, Gwen, for the stars. That's really, really kind of you. And Victoria is saying, welcome to the Beading Gang new members, and Joy is here as well. Okay, I'm going to take you down on the mat, I think, first, and show you these lovely little necklaces before I take you over to the website. Mandy says, never real, no notice. I don't know what that means. Yeah, so we've got 6 different colours for you today. I'm modelling one for you already. And they're really straightforward to do and really, really very lovely. So let me take you down on the mat. You're all in a funny, giddy mood this morning, which is lovely. Right, here they are on the mat. Let me show you. So they're really straightforward to do. We are literally going to be using a little bit of invisible or nylon thread to make these lovely little daisy links. And then we're going to be popping them together with some little spacer beads. Mina's already on the website. She says pink and orange kits available today. They are indeed. So we'll have a happy Camille and we'll have a happy Lucy. Lucy also says everyone's happy because it's Friday. Mandy says they're very pretty. So we've got gorgeous beads for you to choose from. I just wanted to show you them. Look at the colours you've got today. So I'm going to be a little bit cheating. You'll see this strand I've already taken a few off. I'm going to do 2 colours today. I'm going to use this lovely ivory coloured one, and I'm going to be using it with the mahogany, I think, as well. So if you want to get a couple of kits, because they're a bargain price today, we've got 10% off the kits. I think, well, I'll show you them, but they are very, very pocket friendly. So if you want to get a couple, you would be able to do them maybe with a flower in each colour. Maybe you want to mix and match and put a few together. Maybe you want to make the actual flowers up themselves in different coloured beads. It's a really nice one to do, and you can mix and match. But I think today I'm going to be using these 2. So usually your gorgeous powder blue, which is this one here, that's on the silver findings. And the space blue is also on your silver findings. On the champagne, we have the tangerine, which is this gorgeous colour, and the ivory. And then the rose gold is the mahogany and the flamingo pink, which are these 2. So I'm going to probably do, I think I'm going to do the ivory and the mahogany, and I'm probably going to do them on the rose gold colourway. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So they're your gorgeous beads, and these are your lovely necklaces. Now, if you want to make them longer, if I put myself back up again, here I am. I've got mine sitting just above my collar line, and I like it sitting here. If you want to make it longer, you could always add more of the connections that run in between along the back. You could add more daisies if you want, but you will have enough beads probably to make about 11 or 12 of your little daisy flowers in there. Let me see all your comments. You are in a funny mood. It's lovely to see. Olivia says, good morning from sunny Tavistock. Good morning to Joanne, who's loving the blue and the orange. Which blue? There's 2 blues, Joanne. Mina is having a little chat and saying she's already bought some crystal beads with 40% off. Camille says the ivory and the orange are lush. They'd look gorgeous together. They really would look very nice together, Camille. Lucy's loving the pink as always, but she's also loving the orange and the cream one and the blue one, and she thinks she loves them all. So why not get a few? Right, let me take you over to the website. So if you're new to us, which some of you claim to be, we are on our wonderful website, which is TotallyBeads.co.uk, and we have so many video tutorials. So you can see on the logo here, there's some scanning through the top, so giving you a little sneaky peek of just some of the ones that we've been making. Or you can click in categories and you can go on video tutorials here as well. So as you all know, or as most of you know by now, you can search by bead, by kind. So if you know what you want to do, if you've got a particular technique or stitch in mind, if you know what materials you want to use, you can click and look through there. But the ones that we've been doing recently live here at the top. So today is the daisy chain. If you click in here, once I've finished the live, you'll be able to watch this back in this little section, or you can find us on the handmade group, or you'll be able to find the videos on YouTube as well. So 10% off for you today on every single colorway. They were £5, they are now £4.50 each, and you can choose from those colours I've just shown you, which is the flamingo, the ivory, the mahogany rose, powder blue, space blue, and tangerine. So they're all very, very lovely. I don't know which is my favourite. I suppose, I don't know, I'm loving the tangerine this morning, but I think it just depends what you're wearing. Very summery, very, very pretty. So if you click in each one, you'll see everything that you get in your kit. So you're getting everything you need to make these gorgeous necklaces, the tools you would benefit from, a pair of scissors if you've got them. You can use your looper tool if you've got them as well. If not, flush cutters, chain nose pliers, and your round nose, and you're good to go. So in your kit, you're getting your glass pale round beads. You're getting one strand of them in one of the colours that I've just shown you, and they are 6mm in size. You're getting your round spacer beads. You're getting a full pack of them, and they are 4mm in size. I'm using 3 on each one of the eye pins, which brings me on to the eye pins. So you're getting 50mm eye pins, and you're getting a full pack of them. There's lots in there. You'll have, I'm sure, plenty left over. You're also going to get a 10mm lobster clasp. You're going to get your 6mm jump ring, so you're going to get 2 of them just to attach at your clasp. And you're getting your nylon thread, which is 0.25. So everything in your kit today will make up one necklace, and you'll probably have little bits and bobs left over. So if you want to buy yourself an extra strand of your glass pearl beads, you can do. This would look very lovely as a little bracelet as well. And they are the products individually at the bottom. So if you know you need, say, more round spacer beads in rose gold, you can click on here and the colour of the pearls are there. So this one's the flamingo pink. So bargain price for you today, £4.50. So that is the flamingo. I'll just run quickly through the way so you can see them on your screen. This one is the ivory. It's a beautiful, beautiful colour. They're looking a little bit more yellowish, a bit more buttercreamy on this photograph, but they are an ivory and they are gorgeous. All the kit contains all the same materials and findings to make that up. We've got the beautiful mahogany rose, which again, I am going to be using today. I'm going to do a mix. So if you want to do a mix of colours, you'd need to get some more of the glass pearl beads, or you might want to buy 2 of the kits, and then you've got plenty to play with. They are a bargain price today at £4.50. This one is the powder blue, which is very spring-like, very, very pretty. And the space blue. So you can see here what it looks like a little bit closer. And they're going to be on your silver plated findings. And lastly, but possibly most lovely, is the zesty tangerine, which is very, very gorgeous. And that one is going to be on your champagne gold findings. So hopefully all the information about the materials are there for you if you're looking at what sizes things are. But if you've got any questions, do feel free to pop a Q in the comments so I know that it's for me. And if you've got a tip, you can pop a T in the comments and I'll know that's something that I can share your wisdom with the rest of the group. So let me see if I've missed anything. Joanne is loving the powder blue one. Debbie says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. Lucy has kindly shared the link. So we're on totallybeads.co.uk/Facebook tutorials /daisy chain necklace today. Sheila says it's a lovely make for the summer. I think so too. And Mina was thinking to make a rainbow one. That would be lovely. Just get your glass pearls out and away you go. Right, I'm going to take you down on the mat because it's a quick bake. And I'm just raring to get going. So I'm going to move these lovely ones out of the way and I will pop them on my bust for now. They do look lovely, actually, layered up a little bit. So if you want to wear more than one, you can do. I'm going to pick out the beads that I'm using. So you're getting an awful lot on your strand. If you're using one colourway, I think you'd probably make about 11 or 12 of your flowers. So it depends how long you want them, how many you want in there. But I always use 6 for each little flower. You're going to get a pack of your eye pins. So if you're new to jewellery making and you're not too sure what they are, your eye pin has a little loop on the top and we'll be using these to make double connectors. So as I say, if you've got your looper, you can use that. If not, you can just use a little pair of your round nose pliers. They're very quick and fairly simple to make. Joy's asking what size are the beads. These are 6mm glass pearls, Joy. So let's get started. I'm going to take my nylon thread and I'm going to pull a little bit out on my reel. You won't be able to see this because it is invisible, but I'm going to pull it over there. So you probably need about 12 centimeters to make your little flowers, but always pull off a little bit more because I want to run this thread back through. So I'm going to start off by picking up 6 of my pearls and I'm just going to pop that onto my nylon thread. You can use a needle with this if you want to, but you know me, I like to use my hands when I can. So I'm just picking up 4 and popping that thread through the hole. Did I say I'm picking up 4? I'm picking up 6. So I've got 6 little pearls on my thread. I'm going to cut this off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop them into the middle. Let's move this up so you can see a little bit. And I'm just going to tie it in a little knot. So I'm doing a little one on one side, one on the other. So what I'm doing there by knotting that is bringing them in to a little flower shape. And then with the tail ends of my thread, I'm hoping you can see it, I'm just going to bring it back through. So I'm bringing one side back through 3 of the pearls. So as I say, you can use a needle with this if you want to, but you don't have to. And then bring it back out the other side. And then the other tail end, I'm going to go through 3 on the opposite side. And all I'm doing here is just adding a little bit more stiffness, I suppose, to that flower shape. But also, I'm going to make it a lot more sturdy. Because what I don't want to do is cut off the ends of my thread, and I don't want those knots to unravel. So I've brought them back through 3 on each side, so they're coming out the other side, and I'm just going to give that another knot. So I tend to do 2 little knots. If you want to, you can wrap it round one side twice. So I've got a knot on this side and on this side here. Mandy saying, could you put a smaller pearl in the middle of the circle? You definitely could, yes. And you could probably do that by just bringing it back through. So all I'm going to do now, you don't have to do this, but if you don't want to, I'm just going to run it through again on both sides. But instead of going back through 3 of them, I'm just going to go through 1 or 2. So your pearls are got a nice enough hole to be able to run that thread back through a couple of times. Okay, I've just got a little bit of coating over this hole. Will it go back through? They usually do. I'm a little bit fingers and thumbs again today. Does it want to go through the hole? If it doesn't, don't matter. So I'm just going to bring it back through a couple of the pearls, and then with my scissors, I'm going to trim it off close. If you want to, if you don't want to use your scissors, you want to get that little bit closer, you can even come in with your side cutters. and trim that. So I'm going to hold on to my thread and cut it close. So there I've got one of my flowers. Let me see if I've missed any of the comments. Mina's going to use some crystal beads. Facebook user is saying hello to everybody, and Judith says she's rather late this morning. You've not missed anything, Judith, don't worry. We're just making these gorgeous little flower pearl necklaces, so I'm going to show you how to do those little daisy links. So again, I'm going to get my nylon thread and I'm going to add 6 beads on. So this time I'm going to go for the mahogany rose. So 6 of my pearls on. Bringing those ends up together into a little knot. And then taking one side of my thread back through. So I'm coming through 3 of those beads on one side and 3 of the pearls on the other side. So by bringing it back through 3 on each side, the next knot I'm going to tie is going to be opposite the first knot that I've done. So you can trim it off here, or if you want to, you can bring it back through 1 or 2 of the pearls again. So when you trim it off, you're not going to be next to that knot. I've got it through all of them there. I don't want it through all of them. Where are you going? There you go. And then back through the other side. Coming through 1. Coming through 2. So now my ends are coming out here. And I've got a knot at the top and the bottom. And then with my scissors or my cutters, I'm just going to give that a little trim. And there I've got my next daisy. You will find with this invisible thread that you'll feel you've cleaned your table up or whatever you work on afterwards, and you will find it in numerous places because you can never see it, which is brilliant because that means it is invisible, but it's very, very strong as well. So I'll do a couple more of these and then we'll start to connect them. So 6 of my pearls on. Really easy to do. You're just threading on and tying little knots. So you don't need much of the nylon thread for each daisy or each little flower, but I like to have a little bit more just so I can hold on to it and bring that back round a little bit easier. The thread is, as I say, nice and strong, so you can just use it as a needle, just by holding the end and then bringing it back through. Does have a little bit of a curl in it sometimes though when it's bead on the bobbin, like this one, so it keeps popping back out because I'm going in the opposite direction of that curl. If you want to straighten it out, it does so usually with a little bit of warmth, so you can pop it in a bit of warm water if you want to, just to get the kinks out, but I tend to find that just by using it with the warmth of my fingers, it tends to uncurl a little bit. So I'm going to do another little knot. So my knot's now on the other side. And again, you can trim it off here if you want to, or you can bring it back through one or two of the pearls in the opposite direction. Before you trim it off. Marty says, is the thread you're using like a fishing line? I missed the beginning. It's an invisible thread. It's nylon thread, and it's 0.25, I think, this one. So it's a nylon thread. So it is strong like fishing line. You probably could use different types of threads. If you wanted to, you could probably just use a normal stitch thread as well with it. But this way I know it's going to be clear, so you're not going to see any of it when you've got those little knots. So I'll make another one and then we'll start popping them on together. So I've got 6 of my pearls. I'm wondering if the postman or postwoman is going to come during my live today. Oh my God, I should have tightened that on a little bit more. I've ordered parcels, but I thought rather than them come yesterday, I'll arrange so they all come together, thinking that that might be a little bit better for the environment. And obviously, it will probably happen during the live. So if I do have to get up and answer the door, I do apologise. But I've ordered something which means I might be able to show my necklaces off a little bit better to you. This one's quite loose, so I might do another one. Not got the tension enough there when I did that first knot. So let's see, can we tighten it? Considering how many of these I've done, I've never actually done this mistake before. There's a little bit of a space, a little bit of a gap in there. I wonder if we tighten this, we can pull it together a bit more. Yes, we can. It's salvageable. Okay, so by pulling that knot tight on the other side, I've tightened that up. Camille says, oh, so quiet here. I think maybe that's why I'm a little bit more fingers and thumbs, because I feel like you're all watching me very intently, rather than you've gone from silly half hour and being in a very giddy mood to not giving me many comments. I've got loads of you watching. You're usually chatting amongst yourselves at this point or giving me lots of suggestions of what you could be doing with these makes, or where you're going to plan on wearing them, or what clothing you're going to wear them with. They look really nice with a little t-shirt. Okay, so I want to make up about 11 or 12 of these little flowers. It does depend how long you want to make them. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I might do another one. I'm going to arrange them like this. I think that might do, actually. So I'm swapping my colours over. I think they'll look very pretty together. Oh, Patricia, thank you very much. She says, oh my God, the price is outstanding for a lovely necklace. They are 10% off today, so they should have been £5 for your full kit, and they are just £4.50 today. Mina says we've run out of energy. Patricia says, morning everyone, we'll catch up later. I'll have to order now before I go out. They're beautiful, Natalie. Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay. So now I'm just going to make the little connectors that run through the middle of them. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of my eye pins. And again, if you want to make this longer, you could add more of the spacer beads on them, and you can make the links in between them longer, because obviously this is going to give you the little bit of length as well when you're connecting them. I've just been making them where I've popped 3 of my gorgeous little metallic spacers onto my eye pin. So I've popped them on like this. Just make sure that this loop is closed, because you don't want that to slide into there. Get a bit of focus. Okay, and really straightforward to do. What am I missing in the comments? Oh, Sharon says she's beading along with you in the background. That's lovely. Mandy says, I think before we all had a coffee and it had kicked in. I could do with another coffee. Joanne says, of course we're watching intently. Have a niece who will be getting married next year, and I'm thinking she may like these for all the girls. These would be lovely for flower girls, Joanne, yeah. And Camille's asking everyone to go and get some Weetabix. Other breakfast cereals are allowed. Okay, so if you want to make a double connector on your head pin, really straightforward. Where you've popped on your last spacer bead, you're just going to give that a little bit of a turn. I turn it to around 90 degrees, and that way when I turn this loop back, it's going to sit nicely on the top. It'd be good if I was showing you without my fingers in the way, wouldn't it? So now I'm going to trim off. So I'm leaving about 1 centimetre or so. Always cut with your flush cutters or your side cutters towards the flush side rather than the indented bit, because you'll get exactly where you're meaning to cut, and keep hold of that little bit you're chopping off so it doesn't ping away. And then with your round nose pliers, you're going to hold it up to the edge of where that pin is so there's nothing sticking out, and we're just going to start giving that a little turn, and that will make that loop sit nicely at the top of the pin. Now if you need to straighten it out and you want them to sit facing the same direction, just pop your pliers on both ends and give it a little twist so it will look like this. I'll do a couple, and I'll also do one with the looper as well if you've got a looper and you're wanting to use that. So again, popping on, I'm using 3 of the spacers, but you're getting a full pack of these, so there's plenty if you want to add some more onto there. I'm going to bend my eye pin. I'm going to trim off. And I'm going to curl that loop up. So this is making them double connectors. I connect things on the top and the bottom of these pins now. When I do it by eye with my round nose, I do tend to get the loops to pretty much the same size. But if you want to be particular, so you want them to be exactly the same, take your round nose and pop it in the existing loop and have a little look where on your round nose pliers that eye pin sits. And then when you start to turn your loop on the opposite side, you're going to position it in the same part of your pliers. If you want to, you can pop a little mark with a pen onto your pliers so you can see whereabouts it is that you want to position them. But I tend to do it by eye, and it doesn't matter if your loops aren't exactly the same size. What I would suggest is that you do kind of position them so they're sitting in the same direction. So give your pin a little twist at the end. I've got a big bumblebee flying towards my window there. He's tapping, asking to be let in. It's because he can see these lovely daisies. That's what it is. Okay, so what I mean by making sure your loops are sitting in the same direction is just give it a little twist so they're both sitting flat. Lucy says, you do your loops lovely. Thank you very much. It's practice, Lucy. Sometimes they don't go that well. Other times they go fabulously. Usually when I'm on a live, they don't go as well as usual, but it is just practice. However, I'm going to show you with the looper now. So if you've got a one-step looper, you don't need it for this. You're not making that many, just enough to kind of connect your flowers together. But if you wanted to, I'm going to pop my beads on as usual, and I'm going to pop it through my looper so my pin comes out the little hole at the back, and I'm going to bring it up all the way so those beads sit next to that first part of the cutter, and I'm going to just squeeze it, and that's going to bring it in. Now the looper I'm using is a 2.25mm loop. That's the size of the loop it's creating, so it is a little bit bigger. If you want to, just straighten that out, pop your round nose pliers back in and give it a little turn, and that will mean that when you close your loop back up, it should be sitting on the top. And then again, you can just hold it and giving it a straighten like so. I personally prefer to do mine by hand for this project, but it's entirely up to you. Right, let's start connecting them together and see if I need any more. I've just found another little pearly white one. So I will have 12 flowers, I think, there. So I'm just going to decide which way I want them. I am just going to alternate them, I think. So I'm going to have my ivory and then my mahogany rose, and then my ivory and my mahogany rose. So I'm going to position them like this. And I'm going to take one of my lovely little beaded connectors in between, and I'm going to take my pliers and just open it up. So I'm just going to open up one side just like I would with my jump rings. I'm opening it up or flicking it away from me rather than pulling it outwards, so I'm not distorting that little loop that we've made. And then I'm going to pick up one of my flowers. Doesn't really matter where you attach it, but I do tend to attach it where I've done those knots, because the knots are on the opposite side of each other, and then you're not going to see the knot at all, even if it is in the invisible thread. So I'm just going to push that on. So it's now over the thread in between those beads, and then I'm just going to close it back up. I'm going to make sure it's closed properly, so if I want to, I can give it a little bit of a squish down just to make sure that doesn't slip out. And then I'm going to take another one, and I'm going to do exactly the same, but this time I'm going to hook it on the other side of the same bead, or the same little flower loop we've made. Just going to push those little spaces out the way so I can hook that round. So I've got them sitting in between, so I've got 3 on one side and 3 on the other side. Lucy has shared the link for the looper, so if you do want a looper, you can click on there and it will take you over to the website and you can get that. Ruth is asking you to please click the like button. Thank you so much, Ruth. If you click the like button and you're hitting like or subscribe in YouTube or Facebook, it does boost the algorithm and it does help support us, so I do appreciate that. So now I've got my first one on. I'm just going to open up the other part of the loop that we made and then thread on my other one. So I'm adding on the next colour. Pushing it in and then closing that back down. So you'll see they're starting to join together now, and it's given me a little bit of the length as well that I'm going to need. So all I'm doing when I'm adding these little connections on and just giving it a little push to get it in between those pearls. So I'm putting it on at a slight angle for the way I've opened up my loop, just to make sure it's on and it's in between, so it's in the middle. So I've got the same amount of beads sitting on each side. So 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Yes, Sheila, it is. She says the loop is great if you've got dexterity problems. Depending on the project I'm doing. So I think the one I'm doing on Monday, it's a bit like a daisy chain again. It's not necessarily daisy chain in terms of the flowers, but the way that you will link your kind of head pins and your eye pins together. Because I've made so many of them and I was making lots of different colorways up, I did use my looper for that. So I just wasn't doing everything by hand. So if you're making lots and lots of them, even if you don't have dexterity problems and you just want to save a little bit of time, then they are fantastic for that. So I've got my ivory, mahogany, ivory. I'm going to pop on another mahogany. So again, just opening up those little connectors that we've done. I'm going to find the position where I've popped the knots in. It doesn't matter. I just like to attach mine where the knots are and close it back over and then pick up another little spacer. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for the stars. That's really, really appreciated. Ruth is calling it Super Looper. So now I've got, is it Super Trooper, the ABBA song in my head? Thanks for that, Ruth. Elaine says, are the pearls in the circle on wire? I'm late as usual. They're on your nylon thread. So we've just, you can go back and watch it, but I've literally just added 6 of the pearls onto the nylon thread, knotted it, so I've made that little kind of circle or flower shape, brought that thread back through the pearls, so bringing my end of my knot back through to knot it on the opposite side, and then brought it back through a couple of them again just before I've trimmed that off. They're very straightforward to do. And then all I'm doing now is just connecting them with the little eye pins that we made into double connectors. What have I missed? Elaine saying, thank you, Lucy. But could you send the link for the looper again, please? Good morning to Jo. She says, sorry, I've missed most of this. It looks lovely. I'll watch back properly later. No problem, Jo. Hope you're well. Camille's also now singing ABBA, and Mina was on a work call. She says this looks so much easier than doing it with all the thread. And Lucy says she might have a go at this one. Lost my mojo a little bit. This might help get it back. It's a lovely, easy project. In fact, this is what I was doing in the garden when I bent my back. So I was just so engrossed, just making my little daisies, enjoying the sunshine. But it's a really easy make. It's a nice one if you're not sure what you want to make, and you don't fancy doing something particularly complex, or maybe you've been doing a very complicated or very lovely kind of stitch beaded jewellery project and you kind of think, I'd like a little break in between, then this one is a good one for you. So I will speed up a little bit because it doesn't take long, but I am chatting. So once you've made your components, your little daisies or flowers or whatever you're referring to them as, and you've made your little connecting links, it is just a case of positioning them together. I do think it would look very lovely using a mix. So maybe you could do your flowers in different colours. I think it was Mina before who said about doing a rainbow one. That would be very sweet. I think it would also look very lovely if you mixed the colour of your pearls on your flowers as well. So instead of them doing them all in ivory, you could have an ivory, a pink flamingo, a space blue, and just mix the colours of the flowers up themselves as well. And Mandy says it'd be nice for earrings. They would, Mandy, yeah. I didn't think of that, but yeah, you could just attach on like so, and then a little earring hook. Oh, Mandy, that's a really good idea. Yeah, I think I'm going to make myself little earrings. In fact, with the top I'm wearing today, which is very floral, I wasn't sure what earrings to pop in. So I should have made them. That's a really good idea. And I'm actually wondering didn't I have an extra sample? I'm wearing one of the blue ones around my neck at the moment, and they're really, really light because you've literally just got a couple of pins and that nylon thread. I have literally forgot that I was wearing it. Okay, so this one might be a little bit longer, so it will just sit slightly different, but you can adjust the length if you want to make it shorter. Just take out one of your flowers or one of your links. I am going to use them all because I've got them all. And I'm doing okay for time. So I'm popping on my little link. In between my pearls, just pushing that through to catch that thread in between that loop, and then adding on the next one. So I'm going to make mine kind of continuous in terms of the colour. So I've started with the ivory, I'm going to finish with the mahogany. So I'm popping that on and closing it over, and then I'm just going to attach one more of my links. Just going to straighten that pin up a little bit because look, it's sitting like a P rather than an I. So if I need to do that, just popping my round nose in, giving it a little twist, and then closing that back up again. That one was done with the looper. I can tell. Okay. So when I'm happy with the length that I've got, I'm just going to finish. So I've got my connectors on the end. Lucy's saying you could do a Jubilee one. Red, white and blue. They'd be good, wouldn't they? Okay, and all I'm going to do now is make it into a necklace that's wearable. So to do that, I'm going to take 2 of the jump rings that are in my kit, which are the 6mm jump rings, and I'm going to take one of my lobster clasps. You can use whatever clasp you want with this, but these are the ones that we've included for you in the kit. Also, if you wanted to, you can add a little extender chain on. So if you want to get a little bit more length, then you can add an extender chain to this. I'm going to open up my jump rings by just twisting it towards me or away from me, not outwards, so I'm not distorting the lovely ring shape that we have there. And I'm just going to give this clasp a little bit of a wiggle so it fits onto my jump ring before I close it back up. Just going to move that round again. So I'm closing it up. I'm going to take it slightly past the point where they meet and give it a little wiggle if I need to, just to make sure that is closed properly. Same again on the other side, but this time I don't need to add the lobster clasp, just the jump ring. Close that up. There's a tiny gap there. I don't want that. I want this to be closed really well. And then all I need to do is wear it and maybe have, I don't know, another sit in the garden. It is really straightforward. So what I am going to do is I'm going to bring myself back up and I'm going to take off the gorgeous blue one that I've made and I'm wearing. I'm going to bring that round. Where's my clasp gone? So I'm going to open this one up and take that off. And I'm going to put the new one on so you can see the length of this one. Lucy says, love this. It looks very pretty. I hope your appointment goes well for you, Lucy. There you go. This is the one I've just made. Let's just make sure that it's sitting nice. I think I've twisted that when I've put it on a little bit. Why is it I always feel like I've got a wonky neck or funny shaped shoulders when I'm trying to wear something for you at the end of a make? There you go. So they're very straightforward to do. Joanne's saying they're very, very elegant. Thank you very much, Joanne. So as I say, yeah, really straightforward to make. It's took me, I've been chatting, so we've been less than an hour, but I reckon you could do this in half an hour, 40 minutes, depending on how quickly you're making those flowers. They are a bargain price today. So all of your different colourways, 6 to choose from, are £4.50. And you're going to be able to get everything in your kit to make one lovely necklace up. Charlotte's saying it's lovely. Joe Trick saying that's so pretty. I need to make one with miracle beads. There's a surprise. Mina says she's going out tonight. Oh, have a lovely time, Mina. Mandy says it's beautiful. So thank you so much for all your lovely comments. Thank you so much for spending your Friday morning with me. I hope you have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing. I hope the sun keeps shining. I feel like we're in summer now. We need to be, enjoying the floral makes and enjoying the great outdoors. Jackie says she loves it. Thank you, Jackie. So I'm going to be back with you on Monday. We've got lives Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. If any of you don't know that already. I don't think we're doing one on the bank holiday Friday. I could be wrong, but I think we're actually going to have a day off, which will be lovely to do some of our own Jubilee celebrations. So hopefully you've got all your Jubilee makes if you want to do them ready to go. I will see you on Monday. As I say, I think I'm making a necklace with you on Monday. I can't keep track of what project I'm doing next. Good night to you, Charlotte. I hope you have very sweet dreams. And I'm reading all your lovely comments. Camille saying thank you and have a lovely weekend. Thank you to Ruth. Thank you for being with me, sweetheart. Joanne says thank you for another lovely tutorial. Have a blessed day all. And Joe is wishing you all a great weekend. So on that lovely note, lots of love and light to you, and have a lovely weekend. And I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.